Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a vlog. My vlogs are few and far between. I think the last time I filmed one was back in December for Vlogmas, so it's been a while. But I just had a few things I wanted to update you on. None of them are really big enough to make their own separate videos, so this is why you're watching this is why I'm filming this. I just have a few things I wanted to update you on. So this is a really random place to film. You're propped up on like a shelf on my desk. I think it looks kind of cute. I've added these like fake leaves to my reptile rack and I think it makes it look a lot nicer than just the plain metal. And yeah, really random but really cute. So I guess the main thing and the first thing I'm going to start with is Moose. Now Moose was neutered about 7 weeks ago now and I thought he was completely fine. In the last video where I spoke about that, I said that I hoped it would be the last of the rat drama, and boy was I wrong. So I was actually checking all of the rats over because I had every intention of introducing them back together, and that's when I noticed something was very wrong with Moose's surgery site. It was very swollen and had kind of like ballooned up, and I'll spare you the photos of it because it wasn't very nice. I did tweet a picture of it, so if you desperately want to see something gross, then I'll leave that linked in my description. But it did look very painful and it didn't look very nice at all. So obviously as soon as I saw this, I called the vets and booked an appointment for the same day, and we took him to the vets. Now the thing about this is after they had their neuter, about a week afterwards I took them back to the vets for like a post checkup kind of thing, and I thought they were going to take their stitches out then, but the nurse said that she wasn't going to take them out because they were far too wriggly and she'd have no chance of getting them still enough to actually cut the stitches. So in my head I thought that meant the stitches were dissolvable and that they were just going to go away on their own. But both of them still did have their stitches intact 5 weeks after their neuter. They were kind of hanging out in places, but they both still had them, which is the point. So when I took them back to the vets, I got that vet to take their stitches out. We had to hold them very still and it took a long time, but we did get the stitches out and I'm glad about that. So obviously I'm not a vet, I really don't know what caused this infection and this swelling in Moose's surgery site, but I do think it could possibly have been to do with the fact that these stitches were left in and they probably should have been taken out a lot sooner than they were, but they've been taken out now, which is the main thing. So fingers crossed from this point forward nothing else happens in regards to the neuter, and fingers crossed that they'll be healthy for as long as possible. So actually the day after we got back from the vets, his abscess thing actually exploded and all of the pus came out, which sounds gross. It was gross, but it did need to happen. The infection needed to leave his body. He was on antibiotics and painkillers, which he's finished now and he's perfectly fine now. The swelling has gone back down to completely flat and it's completely gone, so fingers crossed that is going to be it for now. But I just thought I'd tell you about that in case you get your rats neutered and something like this happens. We can always learn from other people's experiences, so that was the thing that happened and that's something I've been dealing with, but he's all fine now, so I'm glad about that. So a few of you have been asking me in the comments of the video where I introduced this whole entire cage to you, how I clean it and how long it takes me, and I haven't been able to give you an answer because this is the first time that I've done a full clean. Now to some of you that may seem a bit gross, but you really don't want to clean your mice's cage too frequently. It can stress them out and it causes them to scent mark more, so you do want to spot clean throughout the month, but I haven't done a full proper clean on it until today. So I'm sorry that I didn't film the whole thing. Maybe I'll do it when I clean them the next time, but here are some cute clips of the mice enjoying their new layout. in terms of the mouse cage, I just wanted to quickly update you on the lid itself. Now, if you watched the original video where I gave you a tour of the cage, you may remember that this lid here had a gap about this big where we kind of messed up on the measurements, and I was covering it with a glass panel that came with a detolf. So this is the second lid from the left hand side of the detolf, and all we've basically done is drilled another bit of wood on to cover up the gap that was there with the measurement mistakes that we made. So the whole lid now is really secure. No mice are going to be escaping from this, so I'm really happy that we made this small little modification, and it's really improved the cage because I don't have to have the glass panel here anymore, so I can hang more things and things like that. So I just wanted to quickly update you and say that we've made the modifications to the lid. So something else you guys have been begging me to update you on is my leaf insect eggs, and honestly there's nothing to update you on because nothing has happened yet. These were supposed to hatch at the end of March, beginning of April, so they are cutting it a bit close with the timing, but fingers crossed in the next couple of weeks they'll hatch because we are still technically in the beginning of April, so hopefully they emerge from their eggs soon. I am starting to get a bit worried that they're not going to hatch because it has been so long since I got them, and it is towards the end of when I was expecting them to hatch. But I really do hope they hatch sometime soon because I know you guys are excited to see them as well, and I've literally been staring at them every day. It's like watching paint dry, waiting for them to hatch, so I hope they hatch sometime soon. I've been making sure to care for them every single day. I've been checking that the temperature is right, I've been spraying them, things like that, so I'd be really disappointed if they didn't hatch, but hopefully in the next few weeks I can make you an update on them and actually show you something that isn't just boring old eggs on a piece of paper towel. So if you've been watching me for a while, then you'll be familiar with this foraging wheel. I have used this every single day since I bought it, and I do love it, and I've been recommending it to you guys because I think this is such a good way to give your rats enrichment. In my opinion, it's one of the best foraging toys you can give to your rats, so this is definitely some sort of staple when it comes to owning rats and providing them with enrichment. But there are two things that I really don't like about this specific foraging wheel. The first one is the price. Now, for some reason, bird toys, especially foraging toys, are very expensive, and I did buy this one as part of a set. I'm not sure if that set is still available. I think it was like an offer on the website at the time, but it came with two other foraging toys for about £30, which really isn't a bad price. But this one alone, since I've looked on Amazon for it again, it's about £25, which is very pricey for what it is, and it's very pricey should you have to, say, replace it. Which brings me on to my second point, which is it's very easy to break this. It's made out of acrylic, which is quite easy to snap, which is what I've ended up doing. So I don't know if you can see this properly, but on the back there are supposed to be acrylic prongs which kind of screw onto this thing, and as you can see, mine have snapped off. So within the first week of buying this, one of them actually snapped off from me screwing this on, and about a week ago another one snapped off, which meant this thing does not attach at all, so I basically can't use this. I don't know if you can buy replacement parts, but I'm definitely not going to be buying another one of these because I just don't want to spend an extra 20 odd pounds on a replacement just for it to do exactly the same thing. So I was pretty sad that that broke because I've loved this product ever since I bought it, and it's pretty much a staple for my rats, so I knew I didn't want to buy another one of these in case the same thing happened, but I did find another option. Hello you two. What are you doing in there? You in the little boat? Badger. Hello. Did I just wake you up? I'm sorry. So this is the wheel that I've ended up buying them instead, and it's a little bit different in how it functions, but it does come in pink or blue or clear, which I think is really good to have those different colour options. I really like that. But the main big difference in this foraging wheel and the one that I had, Badger, get down, and the one I had before is that this one was £4 instead of the 20 odd pounds that the other one would have been to replace. So it does attach to the bars a little bit different than the other one. It's a bit more fiddly to get it on and off, but I don't really mind considering it was £4. I don't mind that extra effort, and I definitely don't think it's going to break anytime soon with how it attaches, so I'm really happy with this replacement. It's even safe to say that it's maybe better than the one that I spent more money on. We'll have to see how long this lasts, but if it does break, then I'm really not too bothered because this was a lot cheaper than having to spend another £20 on the acrylic one. So yeah, I thought I'd tell you guys about this just in case the same thing happens to you if you did go and buy the other foraging wheel. I'll leave the link to this one in the... Oh my god! That just shot out all the way over there. It's gone. Oh, Moose. Where's he gone? It's not there anymore. But I will leave the link to this one in the description. If you're looking for a foraging wheel, I can definitely recommend this one. So far, it's been really good. Here. There you go. So some of you were asking for an update on my leopard gecko orbit, so here you go. So if you remember back to the video where I introduced you to Orbit, you'll remember the enclosure that she came in and how it just wasn't a suitable setup for her. So as you can see, she's now in an exoterra, and I have been making gradual improvements and changes to this, but it's still not done. It's still not how I want it to be. When it is finally done, I promise I will make a video on that, but for now I've made a few changes to it that I just wanted to quickly tell you about. So her previous owner did keep her on Aspen, so as soon as I got her home I took that out and I put paper towel in temporarily. I know a lot of people do use paper towel permanently for their leopard geckos, but I always knew that I wanted to use tile with her. So it took a few weeks for me to find the right tiles and get them cut. My dad came and cut the tiles for me. Once again, my dad saved the day because I don't have any tools to do anything that I actually want to do, so I had to wait for my dad to come and cut the tiles for me. But as you can see, she now has tiles in her enclosure and it took her a bit to get used to them, but I'm happy with them and I think she's happy with them too. She really loves lying on her heat mat side and just absorbing the warmth through the tiles, so they're really working really well and I'm really happy with the way it looks. Her enclosure is definitely not finished though. As you can see at the top there's a lot of empty space. Now this exoterra is, I think it's called a medium wide, but it's a lot taller than what she needs. So I am actually picking her up a medium low exoterra on Monday, and I'm going to be keeping her on this while I work on the other one, and then when that one's finished I will put her in that and hopefully that will be her final home. So my plan with the second exoterra is to work on making her a background. I'm going to keep the tile, but I want to try and use excavator clay to make some sort of interactive background that she can interact with and climb up, and I was originally going to use expanding foam and silicone and things like that, but I think that's just beyond my expertise at the moment. I don't really have the space and the time and the tools to do that, so I think I'm going to try excavator clay. So other than that, she's doing really well. She is a bit of a picky eater. In her previous home, she was fed on just crickets for about a year. She is about a year old, so I have actually managed to switch her over to dubia roaches, which I'm really happy about because I really don't like crickets. They're really annoying and they kept escaping, so I'm really happy to have her on dubia roaches now. She's still not really interested in worms or anything like that. I'm still trying to get her to have some interest in them, but so far I've not had much luck. So if you have any tips and tricks of how I can get her to have a more varied diet, please let me know in the comments because that's proving a bit difficult. But other than that, I'm not too sure what else to update you on with Orbit. She's shedding well and she's slowly but surely coming around to being handled. I'm not sure if she was handled much in her previous home. She is quite friendly, she just doesn't really seek it out and come to the glass to be picked up, which I never expected that anyway, but she is a little bit flighty when you try to pick her up, so we're slowly working on that. But other than that, she's doing great, and I will have a proper video on her enclosure coming out soon when I finally get round to making it finished and things like that. So that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching the vlog, and I hope you enjoyed being caught up to speed with all of the updates around the animals. And I definitely need to vlog more, especially when it's not Vlogmas. I just kind of forget that it's a thing. But I do enjoy showing you things around the animals that don't really fit into all of the other video ideas I have. So if you like this video and you want to see more of it, please shout at me in the comments to make more vlogs, and I will try my best to remember that, not just at Christmas time when it's Vlogmas, just all year round. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I do also have a lot of other videos planned. I know you guys really enjoyed where I reviewed your rat cages, so I do fully intend to do a mouse version of that. I will say on my community tab on YouTube when I intend to do that and ask you guys to send me in your mouse cages. So keep an eye on my community tab for that, and also on Instagram I'll probably ask you as well. I do also want to do a part 2 to that video and review some more of your rat cages, so that will also be coming at some point. But I have a lot of videos I'm working on at the moment, and my voice is about to go, so I'm going to say goodbye now. Make sure you are subscribed to see any future animal related videos from me, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye!